Okay, this is stepwise functions, exercise 707. Okay, stepwise linear functions actually. So you'll notice with these, if we just look at the key on this graph, if you've got an open circle, that point is not included, and if you have a closed circle, that point is included. Now, a stepwise linear function is a function that does not change gradually at a constant rate. What do they mean by that? A straight line is a function that changes gradually at a constant rate. Okay, this does not change at a constant rate, but it has distinct jumps. See, we're there, and then we jump up there, and we jump up there, etc. It is represented by a step graph, which is made up of broken flat steps. You've got to notice, but at the edge of each step, there is a coloured in circle, and then at the beginning of the next step, there is an open circle. The coloured in circle means that for this, say, value of x, this is the value of y here. This is included. But for this next step up, this open circle, if I've got, for example, x is 5 here, down here, I read off this y value, not that one. Does that make sense? When x is 5, you can't have two y values at the same time. So is it going to be the closed circle or the open circle value that you read? It's the closed circle value that you read. And I'd already said this. The edges of each step of a step graph are labelled with circles. The blank circle means that this value is not included, but the shaded circle means that the value is included. So, for example, when x is 5, we would read this y value. When x is 10, we would read this y value, not the one above it. Okay? So you read the closed circles, not the open circles. Now what we're going to do, we're going to do the first question, which is question 3, and we're going to draw our own step graph, and in the question over the page, you'll interpret a step graph. Okay, so here's question 3. It says the size of a speeding fine imposed on a driver depends upon the number of kilometres per hour by which the speed limit was exceeded. Okay, as shown in the table on the right. So girls, this is what this means. Do you understand what this question's about? Let's say the speed limit says 60 kilometres an hour. If you're doing anything less than what? It says excess over speed limit. So if the speed limit on the road, you've seen it in the red circles, says 60, what could you be doing here to get an $84 fine? 10 or, no, 70. This is for speeding. So if the speed limit is, say, 60, if you're doing 70 kilometres or less, they will fine you $84. But if you're doing over 10 kilometres and up to 20 kilometres, so that would be up to, this is from 10 or less, this would be from, say, 61 to 70 kilometres. So if this is the speed limit, I'm just giving you an example. If the speed limit's 60, if you're doing from 61 to 70 kilometres, including the 70, 10 or less kilometres excess over speed limit, then they're going to fine you $84. If you're doing over 10, so not including 10, so what value would I start with here? 71 up to, so more up to 20 over the speed limit. 71 to what? 80. You're going to get a $197 fine. Of course, they'll take points off you as well. And then if it's double demerits, they'll take double the points. Okay? If you're doing over 20, so from 81, for example, up to 30 over the limit would include what? 90. So girls, I shouldn't write actually, all right, actually I shouldn't write it like that. One sec. Now watch very carefully. If the speed is greater than 60, you know the less than and greater than symbols, but less than or equal to 70. Can you see what I've written there? So speed is open mouth facing something, so you know 60 is less than speed, but you can read it backwards. Speed, open mouth. Can you see in a less than or greater than symbol, you've got the big open side and the pointy bit? So if you read it forwards, you say less than, right? But I can say this. Speed, big open mouth facing speed, speed is greater than 60. Do you see what I'm doing there? But here, pointy bit is facing speed. So the speed is greater than 60, but less than or equal to 70. So it could equal 70, but can it equal 60? No. It has to be greater than 60, less than or equal to 70. You know how I had here before, 61 to 70? I suppose if you're doing 60.5, they could also book you. Do you get what I'm saying? They may not do whole numbers for speed. This would be greater than 70. Do you understand that it can't equal 70 on this row and equal 70 on this row? Otherwise, which fine are they going to make you pay? So, yeah, this is greater than 70. Can you see it's just that symbol without an equal? You know, that means less than. You know these symbols? That means less than or equal to. Do you remember those? All right. So, the speed is greater than 60 but less than or equal to 70. The speed is greater than 70 but less than or equal to 80. Do you get what I'm doing? If the speed is greater than 80 or less than or equal to 90. Do you get it? So girls, if you were doing 80 kilometers an hour, they read the second line, not the third. Does this make sense? This one B, greater than 90, but less than or equal to what? 45 now. 45 over the speed limit. What would it be? Yep. And the last one is just anything over 45. One, over 45. It means you're going greater than 105. All right? Anything above that. So this is with an example of, say, 60 as the speed limit. All right? All right, now, that includes my speed, but I could have done it with, because you're not, when you're driving, they're going to clock you at the speed you're doing, not how much. Then they'll fine you for how much you are over. All right? Do we get the idea? So that example I gave you is if the speed limit was 60, what you could be driving and what you would be fined. The important thing is on the edges. If you're traveling 70, you find 84. But if you're traveling 71, you find 197. Anything over 70. All right? Sketch this now. We're going to draw the step graph. As we said, what depends on what? How much you're fined depends on how much you were over the limit. Okay? Now, when I do this graph, I'm not putting the 60s and the 70s. I'll be using this data, 10 and all that. Okay? So, because what if the speed limit's 50? What if the speed limit's 80? It always changes. All right? So, on the horizontal axis, I put excess over speed limit in kilometers per hour. And over here, I put my fine in dollars. Now, we need to come up with a scale. We need to get up to 45 on this horizontal axis. What do you want to do? Go up every 2 boxes is 5 maybe, would be nice. So I've got 0, 5, 10. I'm going to go 20, 30, 40. I hope I haven't. 50, etc. Each one goes up by 5, but I'm only putting the 5 on the first one. Actually, I won't even bother. So I've got 2 dashes to 10, 2 dashes to 20, 2 for 30, 2 dashes to 40, 2 to 50, 2 to 60, etc. It's just to space it out nicely. Well, I'm going up, each box is 50, 100, 200, 300, 400. Each box is going to be 50. Every 2 boxes is 100. Yes, I know I went off the graph, but the reason I did, this last one jumps by 1100. All right, so it doesn't matter if that one's a bit off. All right. Now we're going to start to sketch it. So 10 or less is $84. I can approximate where $84 is. Let's say it's roughly here. Well, that's 50, that's 100. 84 will be a bit more than halfway. Halfway would be 75. So we put in, what do we put at the beginning? Open circle or closed circle? Open circle at the beginning a straight line up to 10 and closed circle there. Got it? Please use a ruler. Over 10 and up to 20 is 197. So basically, I'm just going to put it just below the 200. Okay? You know what we should have done? Ignored the 1744 and not bothered graphing it and spread it out even more. But it doesn't matter. So 197 and the 20, which one do I colour in? Which one do I colour in? Over 10 and up to 20. So it doesn't include 10, but it does include 20. Which one do I colour in? Yeah, I colour in the 20. And the line should be just under the 200. Like, that's sort of just under. I know it looks like it's on the line, but it'll do. Okay, so notice, open circle, close circle, open circle, close circle. How do you know which one to colour in or which one not to colour in? It says over this amount. See, it says 10 or less. It says over 10, so it doesn't include the 10 for the second one, but it does it up to means it does include 20. All right, the next one is over 20 and up to 30 is 338. So that's 300, 350, 338 would be less than 350. I'll put it about there. Which one? Over 20, but up to 30, it includes the 30. And you just want it sort of a bit under. Get the idea? All right, and I'll just finish it off. To the graph, over 30 and up to 45 is 647. 647. Here's 600. There's 700, that's 650, 647 would be just under it. But this one does not just go for 10 kilometres, it goes up to 45. And colour it in just under. So I'm just drawing it just under that line. So that's 647. I'm just drawing it slightly under the line, all right? I normally do this, but I am going to put a squiggle here, and then I'm going to put my, I'm going to go squiggle there, 1500, no I'm not. I'm going to go 1600, 1700, 1800. It's just that the grid paper is not big enough. You would never do this in exam bar. 1800, 1700, 1600, but there's a squiggle. Okay? It's just that I can't fit it elsewhere. Now, girls, in an exam, they wouldn't make you do this. They wouldn't make you do such a big one. So the last one is 1,744. Do you think that's a bit of a deterrent, not to speed? So that's 1,700, 1,800, 1,750. It's just below 1,750. Do I do open or closed circle? It says over 45. Over 45. Open or closed? Over. Does not include 45 is open. And you just put an arrow. You just draw it with an arrow. Anything over 45 is a $1,744 fine and, of course, loss of license with that. One which just says over 45. If I look down here, here's 45. I go up. And, of course, 45 would be in line with the last dot. Over 45, open circle and arrow. Remember that the fine depends on the excess over the speed limit, so always the dependent goes on the vertical axis. See, because what you'd put on the x-axis or the horizontal is if the speed was this, then that. If, if x is this, y is that. It's like when you sketch y equals x something, 2x plus 5, your y value depends on what you substitute for x. All right? So there you go. Step graphs. All right. Every step graph does not have to have the closed circle on the end, the open one above it. It can be the other way around, like this graph. has a closed circle at the beginning, an open circle there. A closed one there, an open one there. So which value would you read for one? Not the open one, you would read the closed one. Okay, so it doesn't always have to be open then closed. This is the other way around. So let's answer these questions. That's open at the end. So, question 5 from the same exercise. The cost of a trip in a taxi depends on the distance travelled as shown in this step graph. Find the cost of travelling a distance of 4 kilometres. So 4 kilometres is right on the edge. It's not this value. It's the one above. Do you know why? It's the closed circle. So for 4 kilometres, if you look at your graph, you don't read the open circle. You read the closed one. What's the value? Read it. $10. No. It's exactly what you read. It's exactly there. What is it? Girls, it's exactly on that. What's that number say? $10? 90. That's it. So A, part 1, the answer is $10.90 if you're travelling 4 kilometres. Are we okay with that? Girls, these are not approximations. This step is at $10.90. This step is at $9.05. This step is at $7.20. This is not like a normal scale. Oh. About 2.7 kilometres. It's in between. What is the charge? 2.7. Anyone? $7.20. 1.1 kilometres. Which one? 1.1 kilometres. What is the charge? Well, this is up to 1. This is between 1 and 2. We're not including 2. What's the charge for 1.1? Yeah, $5.35. Now, part B, we have to be very careful. Question, and 1.1 is bigger than 1. It's between 1 and 2. It hits this graph at $5.35. The next question says, for what range of trip lengths is the cost $9.05? We can see it's this one, right? But yeah, 3 to 4, but which one do I put the less than or equal to next to? Is it equal to the 3 or equal to the 4? No, which one's got the coloured in circle? The 3. So I need the equal sign on the 3. So I'm going to go that the cost is from $9.05. It's greater than that one or equal to it. I'm just going to go. Oh, why am I doing that? What should I be putting? 3 greater than 3 kilometres. Sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. Greater than 3 kilometres is the distance. So the distance is greater than or equal to, girls? I'm saying the wrong thing. Does it equal the 3? So greater than or equal to 3. Now I'm right. Do I put it equal for the 4? Because it's an open circle, but less than 4 kilometres. So the distance is, you go 3. So notice all your symbols go this way. They don't go the other way. All right? So the distance is bigger than or equal to 3, but the distance is less than 4. When you do these, they always go this way. All right? I don't want one that way and the other one the other way. They go like that. Because look, distance greater than, open mouth, is on the distance. Distance greater than or equal to 3. But distance less than, because pointy bit is next to it, the small side. Distance is less than 4. Okay, now that's really important. How would you say that in words, Bob? What is the range of trip lengths? From 3 kilometres up to, but not including 4 kilometres. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's from 3 kilometres, including 3 kilometres, up to, but not including 4 kilometres. Does that make sense? So if you can't write it, this is the mathematical way of writing it, but we want to say from 3 kilometres, and you can say including it as well, including the 3 kilometres, up to, but not including the 4 kilometres. So if you don't know how to write it mathematically like this, you can say it in words, but you must be very specific and let them know that you are including the 3 kilometres, but up to 4 does not include. Up to, but not including the 4. All right? Part C. It says, what is the flag fall, the charge for starting a trip? The minimum charge is $3.50, whether you travel. The minute you get in the taxi, it's $3.50, even if he drives you 1 metre. All right? So, $3.50 is the flag fall, the cost of starting the trip. See, anything up to 1 kilometre, but not including 1 kilometre, is $350 charge. Once you go 1 kilometre or more, it's $5.35. But once you hit 2 kilometres, it's $7.20. Once you hit 3 kilometres, it's $9.05. Okay, and part D, which of the following is the amount charged after flag fall for every additional kilometre? Do you know what that's asking you? Which of the following is the amount charged after flag fall for every additional kilometre? What do you think you're going to do with these numbers? Well, if you travel up to 1 kilometre, it's $3.50. Once you get 2 kilometres, it's $5.35. What should I do with those numbers? I should subtract. And we're going to do it a couple of times to make sure that we're okay. So we're going to go $5.35 minus $3.50. We're going to get an answer. And to make sure we're doing the right thing, we're going to check from $7.20 to $5.35 as well. Then we're going to go $7.20 minus $5.35. And let's see. What have we got? What's $5.35 minus $3.50? Okay, $1.85. What's $7.20 minus? Right, and then if you did the next one, you know what you could do? You could start with $3.50, add $1.85. Do you get $5.35? Yes. Add $1.85. Do you get $7.20? Yes. Add $1.85, you get $9.05. Add $1.85, you get $10.90. So each additional, once you've done it for one, to check it works for the others, you can just keep adding $1.35 on $1.85 to each of these to make sure you get the next number. So the answer is A. It's $1.85 and so on. Okay?